This is awesome.
Oh, Clark, hey. Good to see you among the living, man. Check it out. It's the latest talent mix.
Thanks, Pete.
Good to see you all among the living. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the latest edition of the Talon Mix. It's a Smallville recap podcast. Here, it's your pals, it's your buds, it's your good Tom boys, Brian and Zach. Zach, what's up, man?
Oh, just literally nothing. Nothing's up.
Zach, we watched an episode of Smallville this week. Gone. It's episode 2 of season 4. And does Erica Durance look tired to you? Sweaty from carrying this entire fucking episode on her back? Straight 45 minutes, all the Erica Durance show here?
I mean, there's a reason. There's a reason.
Yeah. This is Sorry.
No, go ahead. You first.
This is not a great episode.
I thought it was decent. I don't know. We'll have to talk about it. We'll have to dig in.
I guess we'll get into it. I don't know. I think there's great stuff in here. I don't know if I think the A story is very good, but we'll get into it. But before we dive too deep into that, Zach, what have you been watching this week?
Well, let's see. What have I seen since last we spoke? I watched She Said. I went to the theater.
I'm seeing that tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Cool. I thought it was good.
I don't actually know what it is.
She Said?
Yeah. Which one's that?
It's a journalism movie, kind of a All the President's Men style movie about the investigation into Harvey Weinstein.
Oh, wait. Okay. Why am I seeing? I thought my wife saw that already. Why am I seeing that tomorrow? I don't know. Maybe I'm not seeing that tomorrow. My wife told me I'm going to some screening tomorrow. I thought it was that. Maybe not.
Well, I thought it was good. Could have been better, but I'm a junkie for that kind of movie. The journalism, like Zodiac or All the President's Men, all those movies. I love that kind of movie. So I enjoyed it. And then I saw The Fabelmans.
Oh, how was that?
It was great because, of course, it was great.
Right.
I mean,
right. It's
hot take. Spielberg, he knows how to make a movie.
Good. He's pretty good at the movie stuff.
Yeah. He's having something of a critical resurgence now with people were over the moon about West Side Story. I know you and I both were kind of on it.
It sure was an old musical.
Yeah, but people loved that, and then this one he's getting raves for too. I really like this one, so I think you will too. It's hard not to like it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Anything else?
And then okay, so last time we talked about how I had watched the first 3 Nightmare on Elm Street movies,
right?
And I was deciding whether I wanted to continue and go with like 4 or 5, sit and just continue, or jump ahead to New Nightmare, which is like the next good one, supposedly.
Right. And I'm putting money on it. I do not know what you pay. I think you made the New Nightmare jump.
You said I should go with 4
I know.
Because I was already in deep enough.
That's what I think.
Your argument won me over.
Oh, yeah.
Hold on. It's not over yet. I went to HBO Max. Brian, they have Nightmare on Elm Street 1, 2, 3, 5, 6.
Fuck off.
New Nightmare.
Fuck off.
And Freddy vs. Jason. They have literally every single one but 4.
Fuck.
I was going to watch it. It's not there. So I just skipped to New Nightmare. Was my backup.
Got it. How was Halloween's kind of the same. At least I don't know if the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise, Halloween, it makes sense of like it's been shopped around to different
it's all new
through
line,
the years.
Though. I think it's all new line.
So there's no Nightmare. Excuse.
No, I think it's just they do this with franchises sometimes where they're like, well, people, if they're binging them, they're gonna have to watch 4 or whatever, so they'll go buy it
You think that's
Pay
what it
for it
is?
somewhere. I mean, what else could it be,
I
Brian?
know, it's so fucking insane.
That has to be it. That has to be the reason.
But like, just to get the occasional fucking like what, $10 for Nightmare on Elm Street 4?
It must really bump it up, though. It must really, when they have all but one. I don't know.
I don't know. Because like I think most people would position themselves in your situation of like HBO Max doesn't have Nightmare on Elm Street, or Nightmare on Elm Street 4, so I'm not watching Nightmare on Elm Street 4.
But the fact that it's 4, it's right in the middle, tells me, I mean, that's like strategic. Because if you just watched 1 and they didn't have 2, you'd be like, all right, I'm done. I'm just not going to continue. But once you're 3 in, if they don't have 4, and you kind of want to
Yeah, no, I hear you, man.
4.
I don't
I wonder.
have.
It might just be, like you said, it might just be rights as far as which streamer has the rights. But you would
Right.
think that they would sell the Nightmare on Elm Street in bunches.
You'd think.
Or we got to get someone who knows what they're talking about on to answer this question for us.
I'm sure it'd be frustrating fucking legalese, and it's like way lamer than we could possibly imagine. Every now and again, like I get man, DVDs were like the way to go. As far as...
I still love physical media. And once in a while we'll get a Blu-ray. If it's a movie I know I'm going to watch like every year.
I should maybe. Store. I live in Brooklyn. Like storage space is at a fucking premium.
Yeah, for
like
sure.
we have a couple of DVDs, a couple of Blu-rays. Like we'll get like Criterion stuff. Like if the set is exciting, like Criterion always has like good features and stuff, and like a little booklet. But it's been a while since I've just bought a movie on DVD. But man, if I had the room for it, I think I'd go back. I had a whole wall full of DVDs. And then really what happened was I left my parents' house and my mom was like, I'm getting rid of these. Come get them if you want them. I'm like, I don't have room for them. She's like, well, they're gone.
I mean, I should have done that. I still have all my DVDs. I should have and I have all my Blu-rays. I should get rid of the DVDs. But every time I think about it, I end up making a Smallville podcast.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, what if I had gotten rid of these Smallville DVDs? I would have to stream.
That's true.
And I don't like not being in control of my Smallville fate, Brian. You know what I mean?
You'd have to watch them with commercials, like a chump.
Exactly. I wouldn't get my commentary tracks that I get once a season.
Bring back the commentary track, man.
Yeah, I do miss DVD commentary track special features, making of stuff.
Yeah, that was good shit.
Really. Yeah.
It's funny. I'd watch sometimes commentary tracks. I'd watch as frequently as the movies themselves. They were great on like good movies. Don't get me wrong, but also like the comedies of the time, the Judd Apatow and like adjacent ones. They were basically podcasts before podcasts were a thing.
Right. Yeah. Have you ever watched the commentary track on the DVD for the movie? Oh, you haven't even seen The Limey, have you?
I have not seen The Limey.
A great movie, but it's got one of the more famous commentary tracks because the director, Steven Soderbergh, and the writer, I think his name is Lem Dobbs, do the commentary. And the writer is like pissed off at how much got cut out. So they spend like most of the movie bickering about the final product. Like friendly bickering, but it's really interesting.
Amazing. I just recently, I was speaking of Criterion, my wife and I just watched all of the Before trilogy again. And like Before Midnight had a commentary track, and we threw that on, and it was interesting.
I'm sure it is. I still have only seen the second of those movies.
Yeah, that's right. Them. Yeah, they're good.
I'm going to watch them.
Next
time they all pop up on a streamer.
There you go.
Watch, they'll have like 1 and 3.
Yes, that is how we do things now. What else? Oh, well, how was New Nightmare? How was New Nightmare?
New Nightmare was solid. It was as good as the other ones, I think. Same level of quality as 2 and 3. I'm almost kind of just want to leave it there because like, I'm like, hey, those are all fun movies. I feel
You
like
haven't seen Freddy vs. Jason, right?
I mean, I saw it in the theater.
Got it. Right. Okay.
But I think it's either it started on its own or I just clicked it after New Nightmare and watched about 5 minutes and I was like,
it's bad, baby. It's not
right
good.
now. Yeah.
I recommend beers and some buds for that one.
Right. Yeah. Like I totally would watch it with a group of people. That's a different thing.
Right.
That's it.
Cool. I haven't watched much this week, but last night, Emily and I did watch Baz Luhrmann's Elvis, which I think I texted you. I think Elvis is what you see when your head goes through a fucking windshield in a car wreck. Like, it's so much, Zach.
I mean, all his movies are, Brian. All his movies are that
I know. And saying I like Baz Luhrmann would be an overstatement. I had my time with Romeo and Juliet and Moulin Rouge. And I was in the right age group for those. And I will say I've rewatched both over the last couple of years, and I still was like, nope, these are both good. And he's still at it. Elvis is a 2 hour and 15-minute fucking music video. Like, it is just Emily and I constantly were like, Baz. It's so many weird framing devices, 15 cuts when one would do, and you get the sense that he wanted to do 20.
Like he was talked down.
Yeah. It's so much, Zach. That said, and now granted, if I saw this in a theater, I might be more negative towards it. If I was like stuck with this thing,
right?
I might have been like, fuck this movie. But like, I don't know. I had my computer open. I was dicking around. So I was able to kind of like come in and out when like the visuals would catch my attention. I think because the musical biopic might be the single worst genre of movie, right? It's the true lowest of the low where art goes to die. And that's, I think maybe on some level they're worse than Marvel movies.
Well, I mean, that's a great comparison because they have as uniform a structure as
yes it's the structure's the same. They all look bland and flat, and they all mostly just exist for like, they're all built around a best like actor or actress nomination. That's right. Literally just what they're for. They're nothing movies. So the better version of Elvis is a worse movie, I think. Like, there was an element here of like, this is fucking crazy.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Like, so the bland, it's better than bland. Yeah, I'm sure it is.
Sure. You know, it was interesting to talk about after of like, what the fuck was that? As opposed to any other like Ray or Walk the Line, which would be I Fell Asleep.
Did you know that Baz Luhrmann was trying to get an Alexander the Great movie made for years, but then once Oliver Stone got his to the finish line first, I think that was over with. But can you imagine a Baz Luhrmann Alexander the Great movie?
Honestly, I kind of can.
I know for sure. I'm saying I would. That sounds like fun.
It'd be pretty buck wild. Keep in mind, like I said, I don't like most of Baz Luhrmann's movies. I didn't like Gatsby. I didn't like Australia.
That's the last one I've seen is Australia.
Woof. Well, I remember seeing that in the theater. Just woof.
I saw it in the theater too. I remember like enjoying it and then being like, "Oh, that was a good movie." And then I realized, "Oh no, there's another hour and a half left of this movie."
Yeah, it's woof. But that said, it's like a lot of it. Don't get me wrong. It's all style over any sort of substance. I don't know if he came from music video directing, but it all feels music video-y.
Right.
And in something like Romeo and Juliet, which looking back has this very like quaint like 90s MTV trash chic to it, that I'm like, fuck no, this movie's cool. I don't give a fuck.
Great
Leonardo
music.
DiCaprio.
Great music, Romeo and Juliet.
Leonardo DiCaprio on like the beach through this like I think there's like a stage in the middle of the beach and fucking Radiohead is playing. It's like, this fucking rules.
Well, I mean, that movie he filmed like in the real world still.
No, Romeo and Juliet is fucking buck wild bananas.
No, I know, but I'm talking about like his movies since then seem like they're all on a soundstage somewhere.
Oh, sure. That's true. Yes.
I mean, like that movie looks like it. Obviously, it's fantastical and batshit crazy, but it's like real. He's in the real world filming it.
Yes.
Different locations. Yeah. Okay, I just Googled this because I wanted to see. I thought this was the case. I was right. In his Alexander the Great movie, it was going to be Leonardo DiCaprio as Alexander the Great.
Wow.
Mel Gibson as his father.
Wow.
And Nicole Kidman as his mother. Let's go. Let's go.
Is it too late?
Yeah, I think DiCaprio is like 20 years older than Alexander the Great ever got.
I watched a GQ, I think it was GQ interview with James Cameron. It's one of those videos of like the going over like his biggest movies type of thing, and it's just movie, a random story or commentary or thing.
Right,
talks about Titanic, and DiCaprio comes in for a second meeting. First meeting they spoke, he liked him. Comes in for a second meeting because he wants him to read with Kate Winslet. DiCaprio doesn't realize he's going to read. He thinks he's just going to meet Winslet. And when Cameron is like, all right, let's go in the other room, let's film just some reading. And DiCaprio goes, oh, I don't read. I'm Leonardo DiCaprio. I don't do that. To which Cameron's just like, well, nice to meet you.
Oh.
I just from whoa. But imagine if Titanic didn't have DiCaprio, that movie would not maybe have done quite as well.
I mean, it depends on who the replacement was, right?
I guess that's true.
Yeah, but he was such a huge fucking part of that movie's success. Like, that's a great movie.
It's a great movie.
Great screenplay, great directing. So I think it would have been successful. But it was a phenomenon because girls went back to see Leonardo DiCaprio 8 times. Now,
yes,
a big part of that is the writing and directing. So if you get someone else, if you get another heartthrob in there, maybe it comes close.
It's right. No one was getting in line again and again to go see Man in the Iron Mask like
right.
immediately after that.
Yeah, the Beach did not make $1 billion. But like, obviously, it matters who you put in place of him there. If it's someone equally heartthrobby, then maybe it's just fine. But so, random question: have you seen? I can't get Alexander off my brain. Have you seen the Oliver Stone Alexander?
Honestly, Oliver Stone's actually a pretty big blind spot for me.
Really?
Yeah.
What Oliver Stone have you seen?
I have to look it up. Hang on. Okay. Oliver Stone. Typing that into Google. Oliver Stone is coming up. I've seen Natural Born Killers.
Okay.
I've seen W. End of list.
Oh man, you gotta roll up your sleeves, Brian. Get into
was he Scarface?
He wrote the screenplay for Scarface.
I have seen Scarface. No, that's De Palma.
I mean, talk about batshit crazy. You gotta watch some Oliver Stone stuff, especially his '90s output. Like,
sure,
JFK. You've ever seen JFK?
No, I've lied to people about saying I've seen it, but no, I've never seen it.
It's tough because I think it's just technically speaking, it's maybe one of the greatest movies ever made, just from an editing filmmaking
Sure.
standpoint. But everything, I've done a fair amount of research on the subject of JFK's assassination, and almost everything in that movie is complete, utter fucking nonsense. Like, I think that movie is responsible for a lot of the conspiracy culture we have today. But it's
Sure.
such a good fucking movie.
It's
So
amazing
well
how that
done.
works.
So well
Man,
done.
when the movie's good, what can you do?
I mean, that's my argument when people are like movies don't affect people. It doesn't. Yes, they do.
They can.
They
can.
absolutely can. Anyway, Alexander Oliver Stone. Did you know he's made like 5 cuts of that movie?
I think I did. Who was in that? Was that Farrell?
Yeah, Farrell. It was a notorious bomb.
Right, I remember that.
So it came out, that's one version that came out on DVD, and then he released another version right after, and then like a couple years later another version, and then a couple years later another version, and then a couple years later the definitive cut,
Right.
or something. Like, that's an insane amount of cuts for a movie that was a bomb.
Right. Well, Blade Runner got a bunch too.
Yeah, but Blade Runner has a huge cult following. Have you encountered a lot of people like, oh, you see the new Alexander cut?
It's gonna get it this time.
Now, I have seen, I think, the second and most recent cuts, and the one I saw most recently was the most recent one, and I thought it was decent. It's not a bad movie. It's long. I can
Should we do a
understand
series of episodes where we do every single cut of Alexander?
I bet we wouldn't be able to tell the fucking difference between most of them. Oh, but yeah, wild stuff. Speaking of James Cameron, are you amped? Are you ready for Avatar 2?
It's such a. Did you know it needs to be like the 4th or 5th highest grossing movie of all time to break even? That's crazy.
I bet it will. To break even?
To break even.
No.
That's what granted, I read that and then I didn't do any independent research on that.
Well, I wonder how much of that cost is going to also pay for a lot of stuff in the next 1 or 2. You know what I mean?
Like, right. They've I think you've got at least the next one mostly in the can, right?
Right, yeah, and all the development and stuff. So that's got to be part of that. But they have theme park shit. I mean,
right. God,
if they're just driving people into that theme park.
Right. To answer your question though, am I amped for Avatar 2? No. I'm looking forward to a new James Cameron movie. Right. I bet it'll be good.
Right. I mean, the same exact. Like, it's not on my calendar, but he hasn't missed yet.
I'm curious. I'm very curious. Curiosity is currently driving me. It's a little like, what the fuck could this possibly be? I'm sure it'll be good. Like, yeah, and you're right. He literally hasn't. I don't think he's made a bad movie.
No.
Spielberg's made bad movies.
I mean, yes, he has, but his bad movies are better than most people's.
Earlier in his career, he's got some bad ones.
Early, it's like 1941 is like
that's the real stinker.
That's the only out and out really bad one. I think he's got a few that are just okay. Like the bad Spielberg movies, it's always like, oh, this screenplay's a mess. But the technique is fucking flawless. So
right. But James Cameron doesn't even have that. They're all bangers. They're all bangers.
His first movie ever was Piranha 2, which I haven't seen.
That's fair. I bet I'd like it.
After that, it's all bangers. I mean, what is his filmography is pretty short, so I could just probably rattle it off. Terminator.
Yep.
Great movie. Aliens.
Great movie.
I think The Abyss is next.
I think so as well.
Which I haven't seen for a long time, but I think is in the good, not great category, but good.
I think it's maybe his weakest, but it's good.
Then we got Terminator 2. Ever heard of it?
Great movie. This could just be a Terminator 2 podcast from there.
From this point on.
We just watched Terminator 2 and I'd be like, great.
True Lies.
Fuck, how good is Terminator 2? Literally, fuck True Lies. I want to keep talking about Terminator fucking 2. Anyway, True Lies is great too.
True Lies is good. I think in the good, not great category. And then Titanic, great.
Great.
And then Avatar. So he's only taken less than like 10 swings at bat, but he's connected every time. So
right.
Whereas Spielberg's like almost 40 or something.
Right, definitely. It was funny. I was talking to my mom over Thanksgiving, and I've been asking, the question I've been asking everybody of like, do you think Avatar 2 will be successful? Do you think it will make money? Especially with that gross thing. My mom's like, no. And I'm like, okay, hang on. This is a much more complicated question than just a hard no. What do you? I don't want to see it. Well, that's not the question. Yeah, that's all I'm interested in. Cool. Good talking to you, Mom.
Yeah, if I asked my mom, she would say, "What's Avatar?" I think it's
my mom can't quite get out of her head of like, I don't want to see it, so no one wants to see it.
Look, I don't. Will it be the top 4 or 5 of all time? I don't know, but I know it's going to do really well because it could play in every country, right?
That's true.
It's not one of these that are country specific,
right?
Like I know Star Wars doesn't play well in certain countries,
right?
That kind of thing. But
they don't have a lot of places just don't have the affection. Like forget even like some of the real racist stuff that came out in this past cycle. They don't have the same affection for it that we do.
Right. Yeah.
Last Jedi, which was extremely like nostalgic for Star Wars, I'm screaming like, who cares?
Right. Yeah. What is this? What is this?
I don't know. Anything else to go over?
No, I think that's it. I think that's all the major stuff. Oh, I want to get something off my chest.
Oh, yeah?
I want to go see Knives Out 2 in the theater.
Yeah.
But it's only in the theater for 1 fucking week.
Which was like the bone they threw us.
Right. And then Netflix, it's not like it's in theaters for a week and then it's streaming. It's in theaters for a week and then we can't watch it fucking anywhere until December 23rd.
Fucked up.
This seems like a movie theater movie, like a movie you want to see with the crowd.
Right. I saw Knives Out in theaters. It was a blast. It was so much fun.
And I'm sorry I couldn't get to the theater in that 1 week. You don't want my money? You don't want my money. My money's not good enough for you?
No, I guess they want your fucking Netflix. I mean, actually, they want your Netflix subscription desperately, very badly.
Yeah, but I already have that.
I know.
But
they lost how many?
If it was in theaters in perpetuity, I would see it and I would still give them my Netflix money.
Right. Netflix paid a fuck ton of money for this one and another one. And like, that can't be even though the movies will be good, I'm sure that can't be a good investment, right?
Not if you don't have it in like Brian. This movie did really well in the limited theaters it was in. Like, really fucking well. Like, I read somewhere they would have made $200 million or something had they had it.
Dumbasses, fucking dumbasses.
Like, wouldn't you do that and then put it on Netflix? Like, I've read that having a movie in theaters first and then putting on streaming makes it do even better on streaming.
And that makes sense. It gives it kind of more of a like, oh, this is a real movie, not a. You see that little like even, and it's not fair because sometimes movies just get thrown to Netflix. I see that little red N in the corner, and I get a direct to DVD vibe.
I mean, it is fair not to every movie, but because like 95% of the time you're right.
Right.
95% of the time, like, that is what you're getting.
And so the movie just inherently doesn't feel like when I skip a movie in theaters or I don't get around to it and I watch it at home, I still know that what I'm watching was intended for a theatrical experience. Right. It's like listening to the CD.
Yes. Also, when a movie is in theaters, it builds up an anticipation to see it. And if you can't get to see it, like knowing everyone else I know is seeing something that I'm not seeing drives me fucking crazy.
Yes.
And I want to watch it.
Right.
So as soon as it comes on streaming, I'm going to fucking watch it.
Right. Yeah, it's like it's so fucking funny and all the streamers are kind of learning this is like there's a cap. There's a cap on the like what subscribers do.
Yeah.
It don't make no sense to me.
But it seems like some of the streamers are learning that, and I'm happy. Like, obviously, the window's not going to go back to what it was, but I think most of them have abandoned the idea of releasing these big movies direct to streamer.
Right. Which, it's like, even though I think the window is good, it certainly helped Top Gun. You see they're putting Top Gun Maverick back and doing another run before it comes to streaming?
Good.
Why the fuck not? Because why not get those last scraps of people who are like, fuck, I didn't get to see it in the theater. I probably should have.
Yeah.
But as much as I think that window, that really being strict about that window has been great for Top Gun Maverick. Ain't no one's mad about that box office.
No.
But now that I'm about to have a baby,
for sure. Oh, it has,
and maybe won't be able to go to the movies as much. I'm a little happy about that. I'm okay with that shrinking window and movies being available a little faster.
The thing that I like about it is there used to be a period where the movie was in theaters for like a month or whatever, and then you couldn't find it anywhere for a couple months until it came out on video or streaming or whatever.
Right.
And that's frustrating because like there's a movie I want to watch called Armageddon Time. Couldn't get to it in theaters, and then it disappeared from theaters, but now it's on streaming. Now I can watch it at home.
Right.
Whereas before I would have had to wait 2 months before seeing it.
Right.
So that's better. I'm down with that.
It is, but it does encourage you to go see it in the theater.
Right.
But so that's where that's why they fight for that window.
Right.
But that's gone.
Yeah.
Unless though Top Gun Maverick made a lot of fucking money.
Part of that, there
money.
was just nothing else to see in like August and
that's true.
September. But part of it is also it's just a really good fucking movie.
It's a really good fucking movie
see in theaters. Yeah,
I might go see it again.
God, remember when you used to see movies in theaters more than once, Brian?
I would do that a lot. Granted, I think that's part of that's like a childhood thing of like I had more of a disposable income. I had nothing but time. But God, there was stuff I remember seeing 3-4 times sometimes.
Well, I think the bigger thing was you knew if you didn't see it in theaters, you weren't going to be able to watch it again for...
That's true.
Sometimes a year.
Like, yeah, God, that's true.
When we were kids, I mean, it was a long fucking time.
Right.
Because they made so much money in theaters. I'm pretty sure Jurassic Park came out a crazy long time since... Hold on, I got to see Jurassic Park. Home video.
It's funny how the home video market also wasn't a fucking given. Disney certainly was fighting it of like, why the fuck would we put our movies, like, why would the fuck would we put Pinocchio on a VHS that you could just buy? Because, like, we put that out in theaters every 10 fucking years.
Right.
And, like, we're going to lose that fuck. Why would we do that?
Brian, so I knew it because when I was a kid, I saw Jurassic Park like 5 times in theaters, maybe 7, something crazy. Wow. But that's because it was in theaters for a year and a half.
Yeah.
It was released in May 1993. It came out on VHS and Laserdisc on October 4th, 1994.
Yeah, wow. Which are the entire theatrical distribution model has entirely fucking changed from how it used to be.
Right.
That was the thing of like the movie was a hit, so they just kind of like, oh shit, we'll bring Jurassic. People fucking love that movie. We'll bring it back for
right.
Like
if entire theaters that just played second run movies. Remember those?
Right. Yes, because like fuck you, and like We have one still
that's
here
cool.
in Brooklyn, which is great. And
it was like half the price.
Yeah,
Like
our tickets
$2
like
or something.
an evening is like $7 for
Right,
which
yeah,
is great,
yeah.
which is great. Compared to fucking 15 now, maybe 16, 17 sometimes. Man, that old like model, I'm a little too young for it. I distinctly remember that distinct like movie came out 3 months later, 3 to 4 months later it was on DVD, but like completely fucking different. Weird.
Yeah. Did you know that things change as you get older? I'm
They
finding this
do,
out.
and I needed to stop. I need to stop. I need to slow down like a little fucking bit. I can feel myself like not understanding the youths.
Oh yeah, tell me about it.
It's just
Damn
like
kids!
more and more. I'm just like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah,
And I
get
don't
off
love
my
it.
lawn. Get
You
off
don't
my lawn.
you don't notice it until you're like, oh, you were raised in a completely different fucking world than me.
Right. Yeah.
Ugh.
Oh.
I'm not even like mad about it. I'm just
No, not really. I mean, can we keep the good change and get rid of the bad change?
yeah, right.
Is that an option?
I'm sure it is. Who do we
Okay,
talk to
great.
about that? We'll make a call. Zach, you ready to get into Smallville?
WB Wednesday. The new season continues. Clark has always led a private life.
We usually take turns in the bathroom.
Don't start with
So that was the
Smallville.
promo for
there's
tonight's
Lois.
episode. Gone. The
I miss
second
Ken.
episode of the fourth season of
The new
Smallville.
season.
Zach, we got to talk about this promo, though.
Well, that confirms what I suspected in last week's episode, which is that this was a WB mandated shift in tone for season 4, which is more half-naked teens in sexy teen situations.
Right. So our listeners may have missed. That was mostly missed. That was a shower essentially. There's a befuddlement in the shower that we'll talk about in a minute. What I primarily want to talk about though is this bumper logo for the WB's new Wednesday, Smallville. So sometimes the
That's not him, is it?
It is him. This is a low quality. But like, so sometimes bumpers on teen shows or shows like the WB would just show like their smoldering hot people in, and they'd come up on the screen. I'll include a pic. I posted this in the Discord. I'll include a picture here somehow. But Tom Welling is here on the screen, on the side of the screen. It says Smallville. Why he has his arms out like a T, and I don't know why. Hey Zach, why does he look like that?
Wait, it's in motion though, isn't it? No,
It's in motion, but he just moves from where he's standing to like the right hand side of the screen.
What? That was weird. Yeah, what is that?
Yeah, he
The WB Wednesday night.
and I don't even have time to get into. I'm scrolling back now. Michael Rosenbaum appears like a little hunched over goblin.
But his makes sense because he's kind of villainish.
Right. It makes sense. It's just a little silly
Mysterious,
looking.
brooding.
But what? Let's watch Tom again here.
Well, when you play it in full motion, that is absurd. I didn't notice that the first time.
New season on the WB
Tipping
Wednesday
over.
night.
Slowly.
It's why in the fuck?
It's so weird.
I can't tell. Like, so there is like a fan motion, right? He's in a suit jacket. Is that supposed to be like he's flying Superman?
That's not how anyone flies.
It looks bad. It looks
Yeah.
really bad.
It does. Yeah, it's awful. It's awful. I mean, I thought you were going to talk about how that promo is makes it seem like this episode is something that it totally isn't, which is they do often on the promos.
Right.
But like,
No, I'm really just in the weeds on Tom Welling having his fucking arms out. The fuck? That said, they did highlight, the good part of the episode, I think. That's the part I would highlight too.
Right. And I guess we can get into this now. I realized what I love so much about Erica Durance being on the show as Lois. It's not just that she's great. It's that Tom Welling is so much more fun when he's playing off her.
Definitely.
Yes. So the show is more fun because like Tom Welling has so much more charisma when he's playing off Erica Durance. He gets to be like the annoyed, bewildered. I don't know. He's good at playing those things.
Yes, 100%.
And then there's always the underlying little, they're going to be together one day.
Yeah, they love that. And I do too.
I know, exactly. Yeah. They hate each other now, but we know.
There's some really, really good rom-com stuff in this episode.
Yes. It's like the next 4 seasons of Smallville are meet cute.
Yes. Okay, so let's see. This episode aired September 29th, 2004. We're back in school by this point, for sure. All right, yeah, we're deep in school by this point.
Well, you said September
29th.
Oh, 2004. Yeah, I had graduated the previous
wow.
June, so this is my first year. I'm at Blockbuster, baby.
The dream. All right. Clark and Lois are walking through the cornfields to what is left of Chloe's safe house. Clark is explaining to Lois that even though she finds it hard to believe, he knows that Chloe is not dead. They are investigating the ruin when a helicopter swoops down on them. Clark tells Lois to run, and Clark fends off 2 commandos. This is some real Power Ranger stuff of just Call of Duty bad guys coming down from a helicopter. Let's see. When another commando jumps from the helicopter in front of Lois, she goes into combat. Combat.
Yeah, a lot of spin kicks and stuff.
Yeah. Clark super speeds closer to the helicopter and uses his heat vision to fry the engine, forcing the helicopter to land. He super speeds up behind a victorious Lois. Together, they run away from the scene. A man smoking a cigar steps out of the helicopter and looks on. That is where I'd play the intro, but I have to do it in post. I did it wrong on my thing, and I'm realizing that now.
Somebody save me. Okay, and the intro finished playing.
There you go.
Not just any human, Brian. That is the great Michael Ironside.
That is Michael. I was trying to place him.
Yes. Who was born into this world to play military guys in movies,
yes.
I think. Has he ever?
He's got
not
the perfect
played
face for it. No, that's a... Let me look up real fast Michael Ironside. That's even that name. Are you kidding me? Starship Troopers, of course.
Military.
Total Recall, Top Gun.
Do it, Rico!
Yeah, this man is just... He was Emperor Zanmarin on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from 2016. Huh?
That's where I know him from.
So back at the Kent farm, Clark and Lois are cleaning up after having run from the helicopter. Lois barges into the bathroom during Clark's shower, which we get just some good rom-com goofiness here of like
Best scene
Clark.
of the episode, right? Best scene of the
Yes,
episode.
yes. I also would focus my promo all around it.
Absolutely.
Clark like looks out of the shower. Lois is like in his flannel with no pants on at his sink, and is like, oh.
Yeah, well, she goes, "Oh, like relax. I've already seen Clark Jr."
Right.
Referring, of course, to his genitals that she saw in the previous episode when he was naked.
Oh, is
in the
that what that
cornfield.
was?
Yeah. And then I love Tom Welling goes, "That's my shirt." Like, Brian, if attractive teen girl was, when you were a teen, was in your bathroom while you were showering wearing your shirt, would you be like, "That's my shirt"?
No, I would have screamed and died.
Yeah, you just had a heart attack with a full erection.
Yes, exactly. To the T. Clark is mortified when his mother catches them in the bathroom together. Downstairs, the Kents ask for an explanation, and Clark is forced to explain about the helicopter incident, much to Lois's dismay. After Lois leaves, Clark is reprimanded for having crashed a helicopter. Great Johnny K moment.
I mean, it was fun when Martha and Johnny K they think they were doing sketchy stuff in the shower. Yeah.
Thought Clark was getting his heat vision on. There's an Alicia reference here subtly in that he talks about the last time I got caught with a girl.
Yeah, what did he call it?
I don't remember.
I can't remember what he called it. It was something stupid, but yeah. Extracurricular. Something like last time I got caught doing with extracurricular activities with a girl or something like that. Yeah.
Man, this really is like the show. I did miss this. I think all through season 3, there is some fun stuff in teen problems.
Yes.
Getting caught with a girl, my parents like frowning and crossing their arms. There's fun stuff here.
This is what we want.
More of this show from 2004. If you're taking notes, we'd like more of this. Eddie, I do love that scene ends on John Schneider's face like, tell me you didn't crash that helicopter.
It landed. It didn't crash.
Right. Lex goes to see his father, who is getting ready for the trial at the penitentiary. Lex accuses him of being responsible for Chloe's death. Lana, who has just returned to Smallville from a summer in Paris. Oh, wait. Oh, they have skipped something here. We do first cut to Eiffel Tower. Just burp straight in the mic. Sorry. Eiffel Tower establishing shot. And then we cut to Lana in her apartment. She's examining her tattoo. And of course she's wearing, I don't know how to describe this top that she's wearing, but it's open back. The mysterious runic tattoo she got from last episode. So it's like this mysterious, creepy tattoo that I don't remember getting or got through mysterious circumstances. Better wear this sexy open-backed shirt.
She's got a tramp stamp. Might as well show it off, right? She's like, oh, I do kind of like that, though.
Yeah.
So real quick before that, the scene with Lex and Lionel, it's interesting because last episode, Lionel was denying trying to kill Lex and was like, you are my son, right? And in this episode, he's basically like, I'm going to get you. Like, look, watch your back. Like, I will get you eventually. You won't know when, but it's going to happen. It's like, what changed from last episode to this episode?
Prison, Zach.
Wait, just like one extra day of prison. He's like, no, but enough of this.
The book he wanted in the library wasn't there.
I also, when it cuts to Lana, she's looking at pictures of like Clark and Chloe and stuff. And then she sees that picture of the cave with her tattoo. And it's like, oh, that looks like my tattoo. But what was she doing before that? She was just looking at pictures of Clark? Just like,
I guess so. Yes.
Okay. Brian? I can't
I'm
hear
cut
you.
out.
Oh, there you are.
Why is that? Okay, I think I'm back now. Testing. All right, I seem to be back now. Don't know what happened there.
Into it.
Okay. Lana, who has just returned to Smallville from a summer in Paris, goes to visit Lex back at the Luthor mansion, and they talk about reopening the Talon and Lana renting out the upstairs apartment there. Getting some very Lex and Lana stuff here. Still don't love it. Don't think I ever loved it.
No, I don't think anyone did.
No. And it's gross and bad. Lois sneaks out of the house and goes to investigate Chloe's gravesite. She digs down to her coffin and discovers that Clark was right and Chloe is not in the coffin. A man approaches Lois at the gravesite demanding an explanation. He morphs his hand into a huge sword and attacks her, knocking away Lois's prepared bottle of mace. It's a shot straight out of Terminator 2, and I did have a moment of like, is this a Terminator 2 episode?
He's essentially T-1000.
Right.
But as you're about to get to in the wiki, apparently the T-1000's weakness was mace. All they had to do was mace him.
Sarah Connor didn't fucking think of that.
Didn't try mace.
Lana appears and knocks the man in the head with a shovel to no effect. She sprays him in the eyes with the mace and he recoils. Lana that's all you needed. Lana helps Lois up and they notice that the man has disappeared. Lana assumes that he had been digging up Chloe, but Lois tells her that she, in fact, was the one to dig up the grave and not the medieval psychopath. Without the medieval psychopath, this would almost pass the Bechdel test.
Because they're talking about another female.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Lana and Lois go back to the Kent farm and meet up with Clark, who is fixing a tractor. Broken farm equipment.
Oh, ooh.
I don't think that counts. We don't see the farm equipment
we
break.
Didn't see it break.
Could just be some routine maintenance.
Yeah.
Lois lets slip that Lana had a hot summer fling and discovers that Clark and Lana once had a thing. Clark explains that it's complicated. It's not that complicated. You started dating, you raced off to Metropolis on Red K, robbed some banks, spent some months got tangled up in the murder of a billionaire's parents, and then came home and was like, I can't date anymore because I'm fucking Superman. It's really pretty black and white, Clark.
This scene made it really apparent to me. Like, I don't like Tom Welling with Kristen Crook as much as I like Tom Welling with Erica Durance as far as chemistry. Like, we're like reverting right back to season 3 Clark Lana shit, and I'm like, no, go back to the
right
stuff.
Right
now, I did love the Clark Lana stuff early on, the first couple seasons. I think it's just because it got so stagnant.
It did. It really did. And I think there's also an element of the line. I feel like they don't quite know what to do with Lana, and maybe they're figuring that out now.
Right.
But it's fun as far as like a Lois Clark stuff. Lois has a game, for lack of a better word. She has like a wit to. They're clearly having fun writing her, you know.
Right.
Whereas
Lana, she's proactive. She's
right.
She's an investigator. You know, she's trying to get to the bottom of stuff. She's a go-getter. Right. She's the whippersnapper. Lana
feels like an obligation that they're just trying to fucking figure out week after week.
Right. Also, like we've talked about, Clark and Lois don't like each other so much, so that's tension. That makes it
moonlighting, baby. Sam and Diane. It always fucking works. If that's classic TV, baby.
Exactly.
That's what I'd like to see on my TV.
As well as T-shaped Tom Wellings tipping over into the.
Those are the two things. The two things I want to see. Lois is talking to Clark about Lana when a helicopter shines a searchlight through the barn loft. The man smoking a cigar enters and is revealed to be Lois's father, General Sam Lane. It was funny. Early in the episode with the commandos coming down from the helicopter, I was like, Lois's dad is like a general. Are they gonna? And then, oh yeah, this episode.
Yep.
Um,
I did miss a note when Lois sneaks out from the Kent house. Clark is sleeping shirtless on the couch, which there's no
beef.
story reason for him to be shirtless. It's just I'm sure it's just a WB.
Give us the beef.
And he looks great. He looks great. I would wager there are more shirtless scenes already in the first 2 episodes of this season than there were all of last season.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
After a talk with Lois about her visit to the crime scene, he is invited for dinner by the Kents, but the general politely declines. We get Chekhov's cigar.
Yeah, that was sly. Good job, Smallville.
It worked out.
Brother.
They did a good job.
Yeah.
But like Lane pulls out a cigar and offers it to Jonathan Kent, who's like, "Oh, my heart's not so good." And that'll play a role. It's it's a smart little trick.
He offers a very specific kind of cigar.
Right.
Yeah.
Smart little. It's smart.
That's the tip off.
Okay. Clark goes to see Lex and tells him that Chloe is not in her grave. Lex tells him due to the magnitude of the explosion, there was nothing left to put into a casket. Clark notices the brand of cigar General Lane smokes in an ashtray on Lex's desk. He doesn't say anything and quietly leaves.
Before Clark comes in, Lex is talking to some expert and looking at a projection of a recreation of the plane.
Yes.
Not crash, but the door getting pulled off the plane. It's very reminiscent of the recreation that he has of the bridge crash.
Right.
That started the whole show. You think the guy was like, hey, it's pretty bright in here. Do you have a dark secret room we could watch this projection
No.
in? Or... No, definitely not. Nope. No.
No.
Not anymore. Sure don't anymore.
I learned
that lesson twice.
Now there's only a big picture of my ex-teen boy best friend.
No, now it just hangs in the hall.
Yeah. Well, Clark, what was I going to do with it? Want me to throw it away? That's going to look even weirder.
I like the idea that thing is just in his garage somewhere now, like leaning up against the wall.
Look, this is all going to get sorted out, and I'll put it back up.
Oh man.
Lionel is showering in the penitentiary and making a fucking meal out of it. Just John Glover doing some real shower acting, and it is great.
Also, what prison is this? This is the strangest. Like, it looks like a abandoned warehouse or something, and there's a lot of open spaces in this prison.
And it must be somewhere beneath Smallville Medical of just a weird, moody, dark shower.
Yeah, it looks like the bowels of Luthor Corp, or like that whatever that one hallway they use,
Right. Lionel is showering in the penitentiary when an inmate stabs him in the liver and leaves the broken blade inside of him.
Now,
Lionel is... Go ahead.
The implication is that it's Lex, right, who paid the guy to do that.
Oh, I didn't catch that.
Yeah, because Lionel in the previous scene basically tells Lex, I'm going to get you.
Right.
Sooner or later, I'm going to get you.
Right.
And then in the next scene, he gets stabbed in the shower. And then later, Lionel says, don't wound what you can't kill to Lex.
Right. That makes sense. Yeah.
If that is the case, this is quite an escalation in their little relationship.
Yeah, hard to walk back that one.
How do you bounce back from that?
Yeah, right. Ooh. Later, he is lying in the hospital bed when the man from the graveyard comes to talk to him. His name is Trent, and he is a former patient from Belle Reve. Lionel has hired him to make sure Chloe can't testify against him at the trial.
Is that how they do that in prison hospitals? Just visitors with no one
Yeah,
watching.
surely,
Just come on
surely.
in. Yep. Yeah, weird metal man. Go in there and talk to him.
Maybe this guy just T2'd his way in there.
Just don't break him out. We'll be so mad.
We're watching you. I mean, we're not. I'm on lunch, but
we're literally not watching you at all. But
in theory, Clark goes to the army base to do some investigating. Instead, he finds Lois there for the same reason. Clark finds a suspicious name in a record regarding Nellie Bly, one of Chloe's heroes, who has been dead for 80 years. He super speeds away to find the address indicated. Clark enters the home of Nellie Bly and finds Chloe's wall of weird and her laptop. And it's just a full like conspiracy wall, red string connector. He's like, oh fuck, my friend is here.
Yeah. my crazy friend is here.
Just printing copies of her high school newspaper for herself. Being put in this terrible situation. She's finally gotten a vacation from her taskmaster fucking school newspaper. So in the next room, he finds two guards lying dead on the floor. Lex walks in. Lex explains that he's arranged the safe house explosion to stage Chloe's death. He did it to protect her from Lionel's attempts to get rid of her. He has attached a tracking bracelet to her wrist and calls one of his men to locate her. Clark overhears the location and super speeds away.
This Lex monologue about, how they fake Chloe's death is pretty sweaty. It's like he's like, it cuts away and he's like narration. He's like, the house was built over old underground railroad. Like, how often do comics use the Underground Railroad as the reason that there are caverns underneath? I feel like it happens a lot. I don't know.
I'm sure it does.
Not just comic, like entertainment.
Right.
It was the Underground Railroad, so there's stuff underground the house. So.
Chloe is tied up in a foundry. She managed to kick a button to let herself down. She is untying herself when Trent grabs her by the throat. He morphs his hand into a metal claw and is strangling Chloe when Clark comes up from behind.
Mace him!
Trent sees his reflection and Chloe faints. Clark grabs Trent and throws him through the piping. Clark and Trent battle it out. Clark blocks Trent's sword again, advancing on him. Clark goes to attack him, but falls right through Trent. Getting a real blow-by-blow here.
Blow.
Thanks, Wiki.
This is like the script.
Yeah. Lois appears and fries Trent with an extremely large stun gun.
It's like a giant electricity gun from the fucking Matrix. She just shows up with. We have no idea where she got it. She just pops up. It's wild.
Trent turns around and is prepared to attack Lois when Clark uses his heat vision to fry him from behind. He explodes into a puddle of molten metal. Clark and Lois go get Chloe, who is regaining consciousness. Oh, do we have a head trauma here?
It said faint. I'm going to rewatch the tape. I'm going to rewatch.
All right. We'll go back.
I'm wondering about those commandos they disposed of earlier.
Oh, great point.
I'm going to rewatch. I'll go back.
Yeah. Okay. Chloe hugs Clark and her cousin, and as they are leaving, she says she's finally going to defeat Lionel Luthor at the trial the next day. At the house. I don't know when the best time to I'm going to keep going, but there's something I want to talk about. At the house, the Kents are talking about Lionel's conviction and are glad there was something even he couldn't buy his way out of. I guess this is it,
The
where like they're talking.
newspaper. Sorry,
I
I love the
what was the
newspaper
newspaper?
photo of Lionel, as he's in handcuffs at the trial. It's a great. It looks real. It's pretty good. It's a pretty good headline.
I don't know. There's a lot around like Lex's deception here of like okay, was literally saving your friend's life, but okay.
Right. Well, it's interesting because Johnny K and Martha K are defending Lex from Clark, which is a reversal. Like even Johnny K is like, well, he saved Chloe. It's
Right,
an octagon.
right. It's no, you're right, Clark. Lex lied to you about the location of your friend because he doesn't know you fucking have superpowers. And why is that?
Right, yeah.
You're just a teen boy that he has a giant photo of in his house.
Yeah, and you weren't exactly, acting rational the last time you saw him. You were like erratic
Right.
and angry.
Right. Yeah, I'm with Lex on this one. Gotta
Me too.
say.
Yeah, I'm with Lex for sure.
Clark goes to the caves and meets Lana. She talks to him about his friendship with Lois. Clark, without hesitation, replies that he thinks Lois is bossy, stuck up, and rude. He cannot stand her. Lana gives Clark a knowing smile and replies, "The best ones always start that way." The fuck does that mean?
Well, also, Lana, you're the same. You don't act like you're some wise.
Yeah,
old
right.
person. The best ones always start that. What do you mean best ones? You went out with Whitney and me, and it was not good either time.
And supernatural guy, but he doesn't know that yet.
Yeah.
Lex goes to see Lionel going off to prison.
Oh, I love. Lex is literally waiting in the prison as Lionel enters, like on the other side of the bars. Like he's just like paid the prison warden. Is like, I need to be here to watch. I need to be here for this.
He gloats that it was something he could not possibly have missed. Back in the apartment above the Talon, Lana's boyfriend, Jason Teague, surprises her by showing up for the last couple of minutes of this episode. He shows up in Smallville to stay together. We reveal that Lana like wrote him a note and was like, "I'm going home."
Yeah. That's rough.
You know what people love is getting a note from your girlfriend that says, "I panicked and left the country." That's definitely a sign that you should buy a ticket.
Brian, I'm gonna get into a personal story right now. Are you ready?
Oh, hell yeah.
So for like the last month, I was going on a date, like one date a week with this person I met, this lovely lady I met on Hinge, one of the dating apps.
Yeah.
So once a week, it was like, and it had not progressed to a point where it was serious.
Sure.
And then it seemed like over text, interest was starting to wane a little bit for both of us. And then she's like, we decided we're going to hang out again. She's like, come to my house, which is a 25-minute drive. It's a decent drive. So it's like 45 minutes round trip. So I drive out there. I get in, and like 2 minutes in, she's like, I have to be honest, I'm not really interested anymore. I'm like, that's fine. Why did you have me come on the fucking
right.
I'm like, this could have been a text for sure.
That's the thing.
We were not like, we kissed a couple times, is as far as it got.
Right.
I'm like, I do not, or a phone call if you felt like you really.
The whole like there is this idea of, in general, of course, breaking up with someone in person is the quote unquote like respectful thing to do, but there's like nuance to that.
Well, we weren't together. We weren't
I'm sure
weren't a couple.
Right.
Like Lana and Supernatural Guy are a couple. Like, right. I don't know. She was very nice, and she was like, well, I just wanted to give you a chance to, ask questions. And I'm like, questions? I was like, and then I hung. She was like, we hung out for a little bit, just friendly, and she said she was like kind of hurt that I wasn't more upset, and I was like, hold on, I go, like, who have you been dating? Like, do guys get upset at you after 4 dates if you're like, I'm not really feeling it? That's
right.
People are getting mad at you. What the fuck? I'm sure she's telling the truth, and they were. I'm just like, that's so wild to me.
That's crazy.
Like, yeah. So
that
you can
that kind
check if it's just been a couple dates. Like I feel like I was told that story to one of my coworkers, and she was like, I've slept with people and then just ghosted them. Like.
Right. It's fine. Depending on you. Yeah, it's fine. That reminds me of, it's not quite the same situation. But I had gone on a couple of dates with you. This was a long, long time ago. I had gone on a couple of dates with a girl, and it was a very mutual, like, she was very nice. But wasn't that interested. And I think it was the same coming back at me. And then there was a comedy festival in the city that I was at, and she texted me. I was like, are you at this thing? And I was like, yeah. And so we just hung out, completely platonically friendly. But we were in line for a show, and she turns to me and tells me, so I'd been on maybe 2-3 dates with this girl. She told me her name was Rachel. She turns to me and is like, oh, by the way, Rachel's not my name.
What?
She on dating apps, she gave a different name, and just like in case.
Well, no, I got it totally.
Yeah,
okay.
And it was very funny. But here was the problem, though. I did not hear her on what her real name was.
Oh, so now you don't know.
I don't know. Never saw her again, and it's been over a decade at this point. But
so she is Rachel.
Just Rachel in my brain forever. Rachel, if you're out there listening to a Smallville podcast, hope you're doing well.
Oh man!
But that's our episode for this week. I'm looking through here we actually had some needle drops this week. It's been a little while since we've had real fucking needle drops. We've got Flower Duet by Delibes, Delibes. Far Away by Dara Schneider, and She Will Be Loved by Maroon 5. Big get.
Oh, I think I wrote that down. That was a fucking needle drop. I'm not a big fan of that song, but that was like,
no, of course not. It's Maroon 5.
This fucking.
It's an ideal Smallville song. It's the exact type of song that ends up on Smallville.
Yes, absolutely.
Let's see. Gone refers to something that is not where it ought to be. Or thought to be, sorry.
What? Since when? Is that what that word means, really?
You got it. Okay, in the original airing, we mentioned this last week, Allison Mack was uncredited in this episode as well, to maintain the illusion. Trent McGowan's powers and scenes draw heavily from Terminator 2 Judgment Day. And then they just proceed to list out cool things that he does in Terminator 2. Good movie. This episode marks the final appearance of Gabe Sullivan, Chloe's father on the series. I missed, maybe it wasn't, but does her father die? Or was he...
No, I think he was saved also.
Okay, got it. That'd be fun. That'd be fucked up.
This is the final appearance, huh?
This is his final appearance.
Oh, man. You will be missed, Gabe.
In the scene where Lois is running from the helicopter, a rainbow is seen on the horizon. This is impossible, as in the show, it had not rained all day. Although, this could be due to water particles suspended in the atmosphere.
Stop! Oh my gosh. What? First of all, how do they know it hadn't rained all day in the show? Maybe it rained when we were inside for a minute.
You don't fucking know. You don't fucking know.
What a weird. Come on, Wiki.
We got a couple people who appear again, and someone in a small role appearing in another small role later. The song "Flower Duet," which is heard when Lionel is taking a shower, was also used in Superman Returns. Okay, there is an editing error when Clark is talking to Lex in the home that Chloe was taken from. A shot on Tom Welling while talking shows the side of Michael Rosenbaum's face, who is also clearly talking.
Okay, that happens all the time.
In the final cut of the episode, Michael's mouth is moving, but no words are heard. That's fun. That's a fun catch. I'm glad that's in here.
Well, I mean, that's not an error, though. They knew that.
Sure.
You know?
It's like, fuck, we just need this shot, though.
Right.
The first rescue... this is funny. So the first rescue of Lois in the TV series is from a helicopter, as is in Superman the movie.
Ah.
I don't know if that's intentional, but it's pretty funny.
Yeah.
That might just be a fun coincidence, I think. That'd be my guess.
Yeah, probably.
Let's see. The rifle used in this episode by Lois is a prop from the film Deep Rising. I guess. In this episode, however, it is used as a stun gun. So it is just a sci-fi weapon.
Exactly. Wild.
Crazy. Sam Lane is the 16th DC Comics character to be adapted into the show. The Daily Planet's article on Lionel's conviction was reported by Perry White.
Ah.
So he's already at the Daily Planet, huh?
Interesting.
He's had a good year.
I don't remember him being at the Daily Planet when they get to the Daily Planet.
I don't. Oh, interesting.
It takes a while for him to come back to the Daily Planet.
Oh, I see.
You know, maybe it was a freelance deal.
That's certainly possible. Clark recognizes the name of Nellie Bly, a pioneering 19th century female journalist, as one of Chloe's heroes, while Lois doesn't. This is in keeping with the first time that Lois was mentioned in Delete, where Chloe describes her as having no interest in journalism. That ended up being boring.
Sometimes you don't know until you finish reading it.
Sometimes I just start cold reading. I'm like, I could have skipped this one. I think that's everything we've got. Zach, is there anything else you wanted to go over about Gone?
No, but I thought it was like, obviously the T-1000 thing was stupid, but I'm just digging this new fun tone, and I'm
into it. Yeah, I think I was a little hard on it, but I don't think that was deserved. I thought the Chloe stuff was a little like, quick, we'll just boo.
Yes, for sure. And that's, again, we talked about the 2-part season premieres are not my favorite either, but
right.
I'm just happy. Like, just ride with this tone. Let's go.
Definitely.
Let's do it.
It's a good episode. I think I was a little hard on it. But I guess that's going to be it for us this week here on the Talon Mix. We'll be back next week. And hey, in the description, there's a link to our Discord. That's the best place to keep up with us. And shit. All right. You got any questions for the Smallville gods?
Will this sexy season 4 continue to be sexy?
Good night, everybody. That wasn't. We got it, baby.
I was worried the answer was no for a second. Shit.